So let me give you some background, chat. In game development, there's essentially a couple different ways to produce a game. There's more than a couple, but there are two very important ways, two styles when you're in the development process. At the beginning, you'll usually pick a style that you want to go with. And some are considered better than others generally, but I'll tell you about two of them specifically. Okay, so in one style, and this is generally taught in the game development process, it is an actual path to success, But in one style, you complete vertical slices in each development cycle. So maybe a cycle would be, for Tarkov, we're talking like going from 12.7 to 12.8 to 12.9. When they release these new big patches, I'd consider that a development cycle, something like that. All right, so in one style, you complete the vertical slice, and what a vertical slice is essentially that means you are laying out all the necessary features for the game at the beginning of development, okay, instead of adding like new features as you go. All right, so in the vertical slice department, I'm trying to think about how I would... Okay, so for Mario, let's say we're talking about Mario to help explain it. A vertical slice of Mario would look like creating Mario the game, the first development cycle. I would add the ability to jump. I would add all of the, the different floors and stuff you can jump on. I'd add different, I'd add an enemy. I'd add the attacking, landing on people's head. Things like that. Everything that's a key ingredient to getting from the beginning of the game to the end of the game. All right? And as long as you can get from the beginning to the end and it has the features that you're looking for, that's what a vertical slice essentially is. And then from there, you have one vertical slice complete, and then you would potentially release that vertical slice so a player could play from beginning to end and experience the features that you intend to put in the game. And then, as you go through, instead of adding any new features, you flesh all of the features that you already have out. So you have this enemy, right? Well, now I'm just going to add more enemies. I have a map. I have a map design so that Mario can move around on the map design. Well, now I'm going to extend it horizontally. I'm going to make more maps. Things like that. That's what vertical slice development looks like. And let's talk about the other side of things where you don't use vertical slices. The other style would be essentially the opposite. And that means you're adding new features each development cycle. And then once all the features are complete, and you're trying to flesh out the features as you go as well, but once all the features are complete, that's essentially when the game is complete. And then it can be refined from there, of course. But that's not the same as the vertical slice. In the vertical slice, you complete all the features at the beginning, and the game is not complete. In this other style, which NoiceGuy Tarkov has recently talked about how Tarkov is using this other style, you are creating new features all the way through the process. So what does this mean for us as Tarkov players and the community as a whole? This is probably why we can be frustrated with the current state of the game so much in Escape from Tarkov. If they were using the vertical slice process, it is generally thought that the game would feel more complete during the development, which is right now, because we're in beta for Tarkov right now. And that's why generally in game development they would recommend that you go down this path, especially if you're an early access game, so the game feels more complete. People get the vision of the game. They understand what you're trying to complete with it. But it is up to their choice and style, and that's not what Battlestate Games wanted to do. They wanted to roll out new features a lot, so we don't have a clear understanding of what the game is going to look like at all until the game is fully released. Once the game is actually released, that's when we'll finally get to see all the features that they intended for the game to have and what the full vision of the game will look like. So again, I'll say it one more time just to reiterate. In the vertical slice, you're really able to get a good understanding of the vision of the game right at the beginning of development. And then from there, everything is fleshed out to make the game feel, obviously more polished and complete and everything like that. But you understand where the vision is basically from the beginning. In this other style, you don't know what the game is supposed to look like at the end. And again, it can make the current process, because as we're experiencing it, this is not the full vision of the game. So they basically have to band-aid fix a lot of things to make the game playable now. But yeah, so that's just some game development talk, and I did want to get you guys' thought on it. See what you guys thought about that. And
dude, that's like,
yeah.
that's so similar to like what me and Seglin were talking about, because we're like, maybe we could discuss like where the game's going, with this whole story thing and everything, but like there's no concrete information, you know what I mean, like of like any kind of direction that they'd be heading, like for all these huge updates that they've like talked about.
Yeah, we keep hearing like they're adding the base work. Like they have factions, they have the cultists, they keep adding new features and new things that are kind of sort of implemented now, but you can tell they have such a grand plan for like the state of the game that we're definitely playing a different game right now. That probably has something to do with like bitcoins and stuff and the whole economy. Like it's definitely an unfinished way to do it right now before they have the entire system in place.
For sure. You're hitting the nail on the head, I think, there. And obviously we can see some of where they want to take the game because they have those locked maps and they have those extra skills like handgun or revolvers and like RPGs and stuff that you can tell that they want to do more with that. So you have a slight idea of what they want to do, but realistically we can't understand what they want to do. We're playing, like you said, a different version of the game than what it's going to end up being like. But, it's like they also have put out enough features at this point, because the game has been out for a while, that the game is really fun. And, I mean, okay, maybe fun's not the word that some of you guys would like for me to describe the game with, because it may not be. It's fun for me, but a lot of people enjoy playing the game right now because of the amount of features it already has. But that does not mean that is what the game is going to look like in the end. So it's important to keep in mind, because a lot of players can get frustrated with the way the economy looks, with the way the desync is happening and stuff. And until this is abandonware, until Escape from Tarkov is literally abandonware, as long as they're developing and they're working on it and they're putting in the time, and they are, we gotta give them the time and see what the game looks like at the end. I mean, there's really no telling. The best we can do is try to help them make sure that the Band-Aid fixes are as good as they can be in the time being, because the game is still enjoyable. That's why we all play it. And again, maybe you guys don't like me using that word. I'm not sure what the best word would be. But it is at a state where there's got a huge player base, so a lot of people play this game. But we'll see what it ends up looking like in the end.
Experience.
But this is something experience. Okay, I like that. Experience. It is definitely an experience. As Nikita likes to say, it's a battle simulator. But this is something that NoiceGuy Tarkov put out like a whole video about really recently, so I did want to talk about it and kind of provide what knowledge I have on the situation as well. Hopefully this discussion, and if you go check out his video, you'll get a decent understanding of the background of what we know. He definitely has more connections, obviously, with Battlestate Games than we here at Calzax have, so he has way more information about what's actually going on. All we can provide here is our gaming experiences and the background that we have with the game development itself. So anyway, we'll go ahead and move on, but chat, comments, chime in, let us know. I know there's more in the game development community, more people that have experience with this or information, so let us know in the comments what you guys think, and we'll get back to you and potentially even bring it up in future podcasts. I'm going to take 5 seconds of your day to say we have streams on Twitch and YouTube. We have a Discord, link is in the description below, and please drop a like and subscribe. Thanks, guys.